Okay. All right, folks. Time for us to get serious and do some training here. Today, I have helping me is Steven Kessler from Real Deal Dog Training, located over in Brooklyn and does Manhattan. Where else do you do? Putnam County, Westchester.
Putnam County, Westchester, Long Island, New York City metropolitan area.
Great. He's a master in this dog training style, so therefore I'm going to have him assist in showing you the correct technique of how to do this exercise perfectly. The exercise we're doing today is transitional sits. Transitional sits is a phase 2 exercise. So prerequisites to this is your dog should already know the complete predictable chain reaction of commands, which your dog should have learned on the climb, which is going to make this a lot easier for the dog. And also your dog should understand what the word sit means with no body language. And also the dog should definitely understand what the word free means, which again is all prerequisites before you get into phase 2 to begin with. This exercise, I developed this exercise to make the dog understanding the correction for the word sit is not that stressful of a thing. If, a lot of training styles, when they tell the dog sit, if the dog doesn't sit, they just kind of slam the dog into a sit. And it can stress the dog out, cause all kinds of panic. What we're going to do is teach the dog that there is a gradual transition between doing the sit because you're going to get a reward for doing it and doing the sit because you have to do it. So in order to make it easy for the dog is once we put the dog into the sit for a treat, we're just going to keep the dog into a sit. And the reason why we do that is because once I'm actually sitting, I'm going to sit in a chair, but your dog obviously is going to sit like a dog sits, is when the dog is sitting, it's a lot easier to keep the dog in a sit than to kind of shove them into a sit when they don't know what the heck you're trying to do to them in the first place. So this is a lot less stressful. So the first thing that we're going to show is how to properly correct the dog when you do these first corrections. So I'm going to start off standing up like it's a brand new exercise. All right, and always do not force your dog into the sit in this exercise. Your dog should know what the word sit means, so show them you have a goodie and just keep repeating the word sit until the dog actually sits. Then once the dog is in the sit, praise him.
So, sit. Good boy.
Good. And give your dog a treat. If not, why are they going to sit? We're not forcing them to sit right now, so since we're going to keep the dog in the sit, give them a reason to actually go there. So now that I'm in the sit, Steve's going to hold the leash vertical right above my head. And this is how you hold it, because the correction with the pinch collar, which I have on my neck, is going to be straight above my head. It's not a heavy-handed correction. These training collars are designed to be used gently. You should just kind of gently flick your wrist, just enough to motivate the dog to go back into the sit. If the dog doesn't seem to care, just very gradually increase the amount that you're flicking, your wrist to encourage the dog to go back into the sit. If I do get confused, Steve could use his other hand just to assist me going back into the sit and remaining calm. It should not be a confrontational thing. And of course, as soon as I go back into the sit, he's going to give me tons of praise, so I know we're still buddies, that I didn't do anything wrong. So first thing I'm going to do, as soon as I go into the sit, watch Steve's technique. It's going to be all on his wrist, and it's multiple pops, and he's just going to calmly repeat the words sit, 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 until I sit back down. And then he's going to tell me, good boy. So watch Steve's technique.
Sit, sit, good boy.
Good. All right. And so that's the first time your dog should experience having to stay into the sit. A good thing to do is right after you do that first one is to free the dog up and give him a treat so he knows you're really not all that mad at him.
Mike, free.
Am I still a good boy? You still like me?
Good boy.
All right. All right. Now we're going to do this again. So Steve's going to have me sit.
Mike, sit. Good boy.
Good. I still get my treat, because if not, why am I going to go back into the sit? I just got corrected while I was down there. So you need some motivation for your dog to stay there. And Good Cheerios. After the first one, Steve can actually start moving his body a little back and forth in front of me, but he's going to stay very close. All right? And for this not to be that stressful to me, the quicker he is, the better. As soon as my butt gets off the chair, he's going to give a flick of the wrist really, really quick. Remember, that one flick doesn't work, you do multiple ones. Don't do a big hard one. He's going to say the word sit every time I get up.
Sit. Good boy. Sit. Good boy.
Good. So I'm learning that he just cannot get up.
Sit. Good boy.
Good. Now, if I seem to get a little confused while he's doing that, it's okay for him to use his opposite hand. On your dog, it's best to put your hand right on the dog's, basically right on the dog's butt, like right above where their tail is, and just gently help them until the sit. Since my butt's going to be hard to get to, he's just going to do my shoulders. And I'm sure Steve appreciates it. He doesn't have to grab my butt for this exercise. Okay? So, all right. So when I go to get up,
sit.
I'm a little confused.
Sit.
What are you doing to me?
Sit. Good boy.
Oh, okay. All right. You can do that. You may need a little bit of help. Notice how calm he's staying. Don't get all angry at your dog. You're their teacher right now. All right? So he could free me up and then he could give me a treat. Free. Good. So in this exercise, the dog's going to get a treat at 2 times. 1, as soon as the dog sits, and 2, when you release the dog. Don't give the dog treats every time after you correct the dog. Instead, you can praise the dog and pet the dog. What could happen is some dogs will actually mess up just to get the treat. So teach them they're going to get it when they go into the sit, and they'll get it when they get released from the sit. The treats are going to be good to keep the dog motivated. Why are you doing all this repetition? Eventually, we will phase out the treats, but not yet. Don't jump the gun and stop giving your dog treats because you want to feel you don't have to give your dog treats. We will get there. Have patience. But at this stage, the dog needs the motivation. Okay, it will get phased out. So Steve will go again.
Mike, sit. Sit. Good boy.
Good. All right? And if your dog doesn't sit the first time, fine, especially if they don't see a treat. Remember, the dog doesn't have to sit, so you're still going to use the treat. That part has come in some of the next lessons. All right? So I'm doing good. Seem to kind of understand what's going on when I get these instant corrections. Now Steve can actually start creating some distance for me. The same way we did in the climb command. So Steve can create some distance, and he could slide back to me. Notice the leash technique. The same way we did in the climb. He slides out with the hand that he's holding the leash, returns with the opposite hand, and he can go back to the starting position. All right, good. He'll do it again, and back. All right. Now, if at any time I mess up on this command, when he's at the ends of the leash, he's going to return to me the same way we did on the climb. So when I get up, he's going to use the no, slide up, which your dog should understand this now from the climb lesson, except that the difference is when he gets to me, instead of just pulling me back onto the climb, he's going to put his hand vertical right above the dog's head, and it's going to be all on the wrist. He's going to say sit, sit, sit until I sit, and then good boy. Okay, so he'll slide out. Let's watch how Steve does it.
No. Sit. Sit. Good boy.
Good. Notice the praise too. Good. All right. And I'm not really going to get a treat until he frees me up. So you free me up. Good. Good. Okay. All right. So we're going to do that again.
Mike, sit. Good boy.
Good. All right. When the dog seems to know this well, where you're doing some distance from me, so we'll do some distance again, Steve. Good. The dog seems to kind of understand the drill. You can, now of course, just add in the resistance, which your dog should already know. All right? And this actually seems to help the dog, because I'm like, hey, I've done this before. This is like the climb command, right? This is like the climb command, Steve, right? Oh, all right. That's what your dog will be thinking. He's like, oh, I stay here, just a little bit different. I got to hold the sit position. He comes back and he can praise me.
Good
boy.
Right?
Good. All right. You can praise your dog. You can pet the dog. Particularly cuddly fuzzy dog. Good.
Good boy.
Good. There you go. Makes me feel much better about myself now.
Good boy.
Okay. And of course, when he's at the end of the leash, if I mess up.
No. Sit.
Good.
Boy.
Good. Now there, I almost fixed myself before he got to me. If that's the case, if you're no back to your dog and they go back into the sit, just good boy. Kind of like how Steve did. So let's do that again.
No. Good boy.
Good. Your dog's confidence will build as you do these, and they learn, oh, I don't have to get corrected if I messed up. My mom and dad are fair people. They're not just out there looking to, crank me with the pinch collar. Okay, good. All right. When the dog's doing well with this, you can even drop the leash. So you can drop the leash and you can walk back and forth. And again, I'm like, oh, I've done this before. I've done this on the climb. No sweat. But if I do happen to get up, Steve's going to no, so he grabs the leash and then sit. Put me back into the sit.
No. Sit. Good boy.
Good. Now, if your dog completely wanders away while you're doing that, just keep saying no, and gently lead him back to where you had him in the first place, and then do sits. We'll do that one now.
No. Sit. Good boy.
Good. So that's what you do. Just keep no until you get the dog back into the sit command.
Want to do one more of those?
Yeah, we'll do one more.
No. Sit. Good boy.
Good. Good job. Okay. Good. So this is a pretty easy exercise, to teach the dog. But it doesn't always go as smooth. Not all dogs are as compliant as I am. But generally, you're not going to be dealing with dogs that are being stubborn with this. If you're giving the treats, they should still enjoy the training. But some dogs will get kind of confused. The first thing they can get confused about is about the correction itself. The first thing you really want to make sure when you're troubleshooting is that you're quick. Remember, the quicker you correct. Like as soon as I get up, watch how quick Steve is.
Sit.
Good.
Boy.
It's very easy to put the dog back if you're nice and quick. If the dog, especially on the first ones, if your dog already got all the way back to a standing position and you missed it, you're almost better off on the first ones just to start over. Because the dog can get really confused. The other thing that you will get is sometimes the dogs could be in the sit and then they just kind of get bored and flop into the down. And if they get all the way into the down position, a lot of times it's better just to start over because we're going to cover that in another exercise. But if you can catch the dog quick enough and get it back into the sit, they don't seem stressed out, you can. So I'm going to start slumping over into a down position and watch how quickly Steve corrects me. And it's usually good enough to get me before I'm too far gone and getting too confused.
Sit. Good boy.
Good. All right. Now, if he's doing that and I get extra confused, there's some things you can do to help your dog out. For one, especially if you're in front of the dog, when you're correcting them, if they seem a little confused, he can take out a treat and kind of put it by my face and try to lead me up, with the treat as he's correcting gently. All right, so we'll see that, we'll do that one now.
Sit. 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 Sit.
Oh,
good boy.
Good. Oh, there's a treat there. Okay, so that's one way you can help the dog. Another way that you can help the dog, especially if you're in front of the dog, is as I go into the down position. I want to step a little further back. Is as I go into the down position, he can actually step in front of me and actually kind of crowd me. And a lot of times that crowding is going to help me get back into the sit position. All right. So just watch how this goes. I start slumping over.
Sit.
He's like, oh yeah, I don't want that there by my face.
Boy.
And I sit, and that's better, right? Good. And so that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is if the dog gets confused, you can actually put your hand underneath the dog's chin and just kind of help him up. You kind of help him up, or kind of or go underneath their chest, under their chin, and correct them, and then get them back into the sit, and then just praise them, let them know they're doing a good job. So let's see how that goes.
Sit, sit, sit. Good boy.
Good. All right, good. You free me up, I got my treat.
Free.
Good. All right. That's really it for the transitional sits. So be sure to watch some of the other videos on actual dogs doing it. It's really a lot easier than it seems. Remember, stay calm, confident, praise your dog. It should not be, training your dog should not be stressful. You are their teacher. If anything goes wrong, or too stressful, it means kind of go back, look at the video, watch some other dogs, or seek help, from someone who's more experienced, doing this. So that's it for transitional sits. Transitional downs will be next.